We're really going out today, aren't we? Lights, camera, action. Let's fucking go. Yo, beautiful people. Today I've got a big one. Earlier this week, I did a 1 hour call in a sales community on all things personal branding, the evolution of personal branding, should you say. And we covered over a few topics, mainly how to cement yourself in your industry going forward into the next 4 or 5 years of personal branding, how to stand out with the crowd, how to actually eliminate the noise and be the only person in someone's mind to go to when it comes to fitness, business, personal branding, finance, whatever your topic is, how to cement yourself in that industry. And I also go over a few creators of who I think is doing it well, who I think can do it better, and who's not doing it so good in the current landscape of where I see personal brand going. Anyway, I'll stop rambling. If you like this video, please drop a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, because this year we're setting a big goal. Big goal. 5,000 subscribers. Is it possible? Who knows? I'll prove it, because we're currently on 101. But if you don't set big goals, you don't get big achievements. So we're going for the 5K subs this year. And yeah, but today's video, if you want to get a notepad, get a pen, make some notes, because we're about to drop some serious sauce for you all. I hope you enjoy. Any love is appreciated. Take care. Enjoy.
Alex, bro, I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm sure everyone else on the call is pumped to learn from you, man. Obviously, best at the game. So, I'm all ears, brother. Just tell us a little bit about your story, actually, before we jump into the meat of things. Tell us, where you're from, what you're doing, everything like that. And then, bro, the floor is yours. Go hard.
Thank you for the great introduction, my friend. Pleasure as always. So, my name's Alex. I moved to Well, I'll start a little bit earlier. I left my job 9 to 5, say about 18 months ago. I was doing sales at the time, and similar to all yourselves, I wasn't happy going down the corporate route, the 9 to 5. I thought there was more out there. I got the back off 14 months traveling, knew there was more out there. I then came to Mexico purely to become a content creator. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was doing high ticket sales on the side. I was setting, but in my mind, I was like, I'm going to post until I figure out content and personal branding to a way that serves me and makes a business from it. It took me around 9 months, I'd say, maybe 10 months of consistent posting and just kind of throwing shit out there until I realized, okay, this is actually what worked. This is how to build a personal brand, more so than just copying all the creators out there, all the gurus and all the advice you hear online, but more so what actually works per individual, not who breaks lucky from a viral video here and everyone tries to copy it. So now it is 3 months, 6 months since I left my sales job, and I started my business 3 months ago. And last month from my business, I now have 9 people on board, and I made 18,000, $19 million purely working for people and business owners, helping their personal brand. So I will bring them on board, be their creative director for all things personal branding, Instagram, funnel to YouTube, whatever else. The main focus I help people with is essentially portraying themselves as themselves online instead of coaches and gurus that everyone falls into the trap of. Because a lot of people nowadays will fall into a trap of just posting lifestyle, just posting tactics, or just posting randomly. If you fall into one of these 3 traps, you kind of go into the noise of people online. What I help people with and business owners is purely making themselves their own niche, their own strategy, a personal brand, more so than just copying everyone else and hoping it makes money, pushing into ads, whatever else. Purely organic, getting people through without ads and changing people's perception in real time to then being like, fuck, this guy gets me. I see myself in this owner. He's real. I trust him. How do I work with him? It's more so to get people bought into you as a person and then want to work with you as downstream from it. Instead of just being the coach or, for example, the sales guy, the fitness coach, in a row of sales coaches, fitness coaches, it's how can I be Reese, Rory, Connor, Paris? How can I be me and service people around me? Or whatever it is, just grow a following, whatever your mission may be with personal branding. But it's purely individual, unique to your story, experiences, values, lessons, beliefs, insights, whatever makes you you that no one can take away from you. That's what I help people with, and that's what I want to go with you guys today. Because a main issue with what I say today transitions nicely into this. How do I share my screen? One thing I will say is I might be good at content, but I'm not tech savvy. Give me 2 seconds, people. Share, got you. Okay, so can everyone see this? How do I make this full? This will be good. Can I just get a thumbs up, James, if you can see this, because everyone's on mute. Cool. So, yeah, essentially, the main topic I wanted to go over is I believe personal branding is now in a huge switch, a huge evolution phase, because what once worked in the olden times, 3, 4 years ago, when social media and coaches really started to pop, was tips and tricks, value. You hear it all the time. Post value, 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 value. But value doesn't sell anymore because everyone's heard it. Like if you're a fitness coach, everyone knows how to lose weight. Everyone knows the top 3 fat loss tips. Everyone knows the tricks of how to lose weight. And there's so many people who have copied the top guys, say 4 or 5 years ago, that say these 4 or 5 guys who killed it, they then told everyone how to do it. This just carries on and on and on and masses at scale to a point where there's an over influx of information and a lack of trust from each individual person as to whether that person can deliver the value they're speaking. So now, the way I see content going, the way that's worked for me, the what I see all the best people right now doing is shifting from value, coachy, guru to human themselves, building trust, not being the best in the game, not having it all figured out, but just being a genuine fucking person, building it in real time, only a few steps ahead instead of a million miles away. When you're building a brand, you want to make sure that whatever you're doing, whatever you're preaching is attainable, it's real, someone can grasp it, more so than, for example, like I put here, back in the day, a rented Lambo and living in a penthouse would be enough to convince someone to hop on a call and buy their course to go get rich for the 10K and 10-week guru roadmap. Now, when I say this, I can't see everyone at the moment on this. Let me go back into Zoom. Does anyone have any inkling of a guru that comes to mind? Anyone at all? And by the way, I can't see the faces. So if you just want to unmute and shout out a name, whatever else, and then tell me your name as well so I can have a conversation with you. Anyone come to mind whatsoever when it comes to a guru?
I'm thinking Shelby.
Yeah. Okay. Glad you said that because the number one name I've got at the bottom on doing it wrong is Shelby Sapp. Now, what I will say is Shelby Sapp is crushing it. She's a millionaire. Cool. However, if you try to create content now, like Shelby Sapp does, rage bait, coachy coach, very scarce, bad advice, it gets views, it gets eyeballs, which worked for her in the past. But if you try to build a brand now, no one is watching. People are so rage baited by her that they'll watch now because she's built a name for herself. But if you try to break through now in a space where there's so many people copying Shelby Sapp, you won't stand out because people see it as rage bait. It's not authentic, it's not genuine. So the amount of gurus that are going with this approach in the past, they still works for them. Cool. The Shelby Sapps. But if you try to break through this now, you'll crash and burn because people just scroll past, scroll past, scroll past. They've built a brand, so they've earned a scroll over their time. People might stop to say, "Oh, what have they got to say again?" But if you're building your brand from scratch and you're trying to do rage bait content, it won't last because people are tired of it and they want to feel heard. They want to see themselves in someone.
Did he just glitch out?
Feel
Yeah,
connected, which is
Blaze.
why Shelby sat yes because very useful. Say again.
No, you just glitched out, bro.
Say again. Am I still here? Oh, brothers, hold on. I'm still on the fucking. Let me get this little thing on. I'm not on the Wi-Fi. Hello? Good? Perfect. Okay. So yeah. Now, tying into the guru approach in the times of old and social media, very much so was how many views can I get? How many followers can I get? Okay, 1 million views, cool, great success. Or you get so many followers, cool, great success. That was when social media began. That's when social media started because no one knew anything. And the guys who pioneered it and got all the views and followers had all the money because no one knew any different. Whereas now, there are, I think, year on year, 35% more reels being generated year on year on year, showing that each year the amount of videos being put onto the platform is drastically improving time on time. So the attention is somewhat as easy to ever garner, but also as hard enough to keep as ever before. So how you do that is by being genuine, because you can have, say, for example, myself, there was a period in when I started creating content, I had 9 million views in 90 days, I believe. So I was averaging 3 million views a month, right? In the eyes of a creator, people are watching my shit, people are liking my shit. So many likes. I was having hundreds of thousands of likes, but I didn't make a single penny despite having all these metrics that everyone was saying, oh, get views, get followers, da, da, da. No one bought into me. Whereas now I might get 500,000 views in a month, 100,000 views in a month. But as I said before, I'm making close to 20,000 and my business is very early on. Because instead of focusing on how to rage bait, how to get more views and followers, it's how can I build trust at scale? Because as I mentioned here, if you focus purely on going viral, you'll gain eyeballs, yes. You'll build a follower base. But think about this. If the eyeballs aren't the right ones, then it genuinely means fuck all. If you're trying to sell a high ticket sales coaching, let's say, for example, and all the eyeballs you're getting are from, I don't know, fucking farmers who just want to farm, it means fuck all. It's pointless. If you have 100,000 followers that are all women and you try and sell men's mental health, they mean fuck all. However, if you have 2,000 followers, 3,000 followers, and you're selling high ticket sales coaching and you've got 3,000 people interested in high ticket sales, you do the math. Like 3,000 people there are potential leads, whereas to someone else who has 100,000 on paper is killing it, will make no bread, no money. So gone are the times where views and followers are a metric we track for success, but purely the trust metrics we can get from people, which is ICP, people following us from the videos we make, DMs, engagement, comments, how much of these things we can get if you're on a sales call and you're selling, how long your sales calls take, how many objections you get. Because if you do a lot of this stuff the right way and build trust, your content does the heavy lifting. Your content is the sales tactic. Because I see a lot of people who also will funnel thousands a month into ads, like tens of thousands a month into ads, and they'll have one touch point. They'll book in a call, they'll have a closer, and they'll have a frictionful mental battle to bring that person through the screen because they've only just seen an ad and they feel like it's a scam. However, if you garner your organic content in a way that builds trust over time, slow, building on someone so they can see themselves within you and trust you, when you get on a sales call with someone who's seen 7 hours watch time, watch your YouTube videos, seeing your stories, seeing you help everyone else, not try and sell them, selling becomes effortless. For example, I had a theory with this when I left sales. I thought I'm going to start helping people with content, but I'm not going to sell anything. And I genuinely believe I can build a business from scratch. Before I had an offer, before I had a business, before I had anything, I sold 3 people onto my offer with no business, no nothing, just hopping on the call and be like, I think I can genuinely help you, purely to see if it would work off trust alone. All 3 of those people joined on. So I knew that, for example, it's not a matter of how much can you pump into ads. Are ads good? Yes. Is paid traffic and organic traffic needed? Most of the time, yes. But in building a personal brand, ads are out the section. Ads water the plant, but organic content is what fucking that is the soil, is what grows it all. Because if you have all these ads from something without a brand and no substance and no personality, you won't sell anything. But people will get an ad to come to your page to then learn you, see you, and get a perception of you of whether to trust you. That's what makes selling so effortless and what builds a personal brand at scale. So, one line, if anything you take away from today, as I talk a lot, I ramble, I will try and speak to you in a second when we go over the reviews. But if you take anything away from today, it is that personal branding is just human connection on a digital scale. It is that simple. The same way you approach your friendships, the people in this community, the group, it is genuine connections, shared experiences, struggles, values, belief, your journey, your mistakes, the messy middle shit that's uncomfortable, that shows you're not perfect, that shows you're a personable, relatable human. That's what people crave now. For example, I can't see the chat. Fuck's sake. I want to see how many people. How do I get this open? Let me see. I want to see how many of you guys are posting content. Let me look in the chat. Can I get a little thumbs up in the chat if you guys are in here posting content or have a brand of some sort, etc.? Is no one posting content? Or am I sorry, can I get a thumb up in the chat? 'Cause I can't a lot of people have look, I sound like a fucking streamer. Can I get a dub in the chat real quick, boys? Just quickly. But okay, yeah, dub. That's my guy. Big up, Aaron. Okay, so it's quite a lot of you already posting content. Cool. Dubs. Fuck yeah, that's what this is. So yeah. Now, when posting on your content right now, guys, how many of you have told your story, done something uncomfortable, filmed a video and then not posted it because you don't know if you wanted to share that side of you? How many of you have done it? Or have you been afraid to post that side of you? Done it. Okay. Have you found it somewhat difficult to release certain parts of you, or have you held back certain details because you're scared of people's perceptions, or like, oh, I can't have the internet knowing this of me? Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Absolutely. Okay. Now, the reason why it's uncomfortable is we all believe, right? We all care about ourselves more than we care about anything else, right? As much as we want to be selfless, we care too much about our own self-perception that we think if we tell our story, our down moments, our failures, our losses, that people's perception of us would change, or that they won't believe that we are the person we are, or that we can help purely because we've shown that we fucked up and we're not perfect. But it's actually quite the opposite because if you only show that you're perfect and you only show the wins, people are going to think you're a scammer, right? Let me give you an example so you understand where I'm coming from. When I say what type of creators comes to mind when I say scammers, who comes to mind? Just put something in the chat because I'm sure you have indication. Whatever comes to mind when I say what type of content creators or people online do you think are scammers as a collective? Any suggestions? Dropshippers, bread scales, online moneymakers, course sellers, traders, the lot, right? Now, it's funny because see all these people you just said then, the dropshippers, the traders, all the people have the same reputation, okay? They claim to make millions a month and help everyone make. Why don't we trust them? Because if they're making all this money and they're helping all these people and they live this lifestyle and they've got the cars and the Lambos and all this shit, they must be right, right? They must be telling the truth. So why do we as humans not inherently trust them? Why do these people come to mind when you think of scammers? Because if you look at the face value, they're killing it and they're the most trustworthy people in the game because they have all these people, these clients, and this money. But we don't see it that way because they don't show us everything. They're holding parts back. We think it's a scam because we're not seeing the whole story. Let me ask you this. All the best films you've ever watched, when does the hero ever come in? If he started at the bottom, does he start with a Lambo? Absolutely fucking not. But when we see these kids and these teenagers and these people now who are trying to make it and they rent the Lambos out and they're just trying to sell a course, all you see is course seller, Lambo, bullshit. No story, no journey. That kid could have been homeless. But if he doesn't show his story from homeless to wherever, you don't believe him. But if he showed his story from going from homeless to a fucking Lambo, I guarantee you that kid would sell 1 billion on his course. And I promise you that. But no one shows it, which is why we have a self-perception that these guys are scammers and lying to us. So, with that in mind, how do you stand out from the crowd in a world of noise and bullshit that all floods together online today, of the bread scales, of the TJRs, of the course sellers, traders? How do you be authentic and how do you build your business? Now, there's a couple of people I've been reviewing myself for clients, people to emulate, who I think is winning, who I think is doing it okay but can improve, and who I think is doing it wrong. we've already gone over Shelby, but more so just some of the traits that people are doing it wrong. So one of the first people I wanted to go over is a good friend of mine who I think, let me just see if I can, let me know as well if you can hear the volume. Because if you can't hear the volume, I'll just talk over as a general consensus. And when I ask the creator, if you've seen them in the chat, if it's well known. The guys who I'll bring to you aren't doing like are doing very well. I don't know if you would have seen them because they have lower end personal brands, but they're making fucking bread. So the first person I wanted to go over was my friend Reed, very good friend of mine. Now, I'm sure Reed is Australian. I'm sure you all know Reed. Reed is a great guy. Can you hear this? James, I'm going to need you to cut because if you see my screen, I can't see anyone. If you can just come on and tell me if you can hear this in the mic.
You need to prepare, but you also need to relax. You need to.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Oh, we're fucking cooking. All right. So one of the things I wanted to go over with Reed and Jake because they come as
Alex, bro. I could hear it. Can everyone just put a 1 in the chat if they could hear that, please?
Oh, we sound like fucking streamers.
Yeah, we do, don't we?
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Please.
Yeah, where's my donos, cunts? Okay, so perfect. Now, I wanted to go over Reed and Jake's together because they somewhat come as a collective. Now, both of those, as again, no disrespect whatsoever, both of them great friends, incredible. I believe since they've started their business, they have got a little bit lazy. And I'm also saying I could do things better because I think I've also got lazy with my content. And that's why I wanted to bring it to the table because even though our business might be doing well, as a content personal brand basis, I believe what I see of Jake and Reed and myself has got lazy. I'll own up to it and I'll show you why I think so compared to the guys who are doing it well. So you look at Reed's content now. Reed is incredible. Reed get lots of views. He has a good business. I'm sure he does very well with it. But last time I spoke to him, he's doing very well. But a lot of his content lately has the volume's not necessary in this. This one's actually not bad, but the majority of his content lately, I think because he's busy, has just kind of been somewhat CapCut templates. Okay. Just kind of throwaway videos. They're good for the odd time, but a lot of them have been the same sort of thing, right? Like the reason why these videos aren't necessarily incredible is if you're trying to build a persona from scratch, you're trying to build a personal brand, but you're not giving people an inkling to connect with you. Anyone now, any one of you guys could see those videos that Reed does well. For example, let's go, the volume doesn't matter. This one here, 100K, right? 100K with no volume, no whatever, just a CapCut template. If that video goes out now and all of you copy it and 2 of you go viral, all you're relying on is your visuals and your B-roll, and you're limiting everything your personality. Because even if you stand by what is in that video, it isn't showing any part of you because you've seen it's a trend. Or even if you haven't seen it's a trend, it's not a lot to go off. If a video like that does 100,000 views, I guarantee you the follower percentage might be max 1%. You might get 100 followers max because people don't really care. It's like, oh, it's a cool video, I'll share it, but they don't care enough to do anything. Whereas a quick little reference to Jake's video now, which if you've not already seen, it's actually one of the things that me and James first spoke over was if you look at Jake's, Jake Peters. Now, if you don't know the video I'm about to reference, this pretty much entirely built Jake's audience. It was a great video. I myself copied it. A lot of creators copied it and it worked very well for them. Don't know if I can find it. I don't know how far back it is. If I don't find it in the next 10 seconds, I'm just going to reference it in speaking. If not, I'm actually going to ask if any of you've seen it. I'm pretty sure it's around here. Day 16 story start. It's just before this. Bear with me. It is worth the wait because this video alone, I believe, got, where is it? It's here. 530K. Okay, we're going to go through this. So this video got 530K, right? I think it got him in total 37,000 followers in the space of 3 days. Okay. Purely from one video telling a story, showing the journey, the down moments, the ups and downs, where he shows his rock bottom, where he starts, he's going home. I'll go through it because it's a great video. I copied this vid and gained 3K followers in the same video framework. Yes, I copied this video and got 5,000 or 4,000, a lot of fucking things as well. This exact framework at the time was a framework that allowed you to show your journey. And it was incredible because it's altering every 7, 8 seconds, which takes the viewer on a journey, which makes it feel like a mini movie. Because in a movie, as you can start, you've got the introduction, the plot, the action, the resolution, conflict, end, etc. That's how all best Hollywood films will follow. Now, in this, you kind of essentially get that in the space of a minute. So granted, it's very fucking quick, but I'm just going to run through the video in case anyone hasn't followed. It's a minute long, but if you've got 37,000 followers, you can probably take something from it. So,
20-year-old Aussie who took a one-way flight to Bali, but now I might end up homeless here. My name's Jake, and for the past 7 weeks, I've been in Indonesia eating chicken, pumping iron, sipping coconuts, and working hard, but I don't.
So a big part of this as well is whenever you're recording your videos, the most important thing when delivering and getting your video across in your school video, more so than the edit, the visuals aren't super important as long as it tells a story, but it's what emotion can you make someone feel through the video? How can you impact someone through what you're showing? For example, here, he starts off all high energetic. I'm Jake, instantly drops a tone, sad, reflective, going homeless, and it makes you sit back and go, oh shit, fuck, I didn't expect this. Then you're invested, you hear it. As soon as you hear the emotion, you get anchored. I'm pretty sure it then goes.
Enough income to survive out here. See, I've been chasing this wild dream that I set to reach 50,000 followers. That ends in...
Again, a mission. He's homeless, has a journey of 50,000 followers. We've set the tone within the first 12 seconds of what his goals are. He's nearly going homeless, but he wants 50,000 followers. Already, people who are watching this are seeing the journey in real time. They're seeing the pathway. More so than him just being at 50,000, being like, I'm a creator. They're seeing he has no followers. They're seeing where he wants to go to. And then when they connect him on the rest of this video, 40,000 or 35,000 followers over in 3 days.
12 days. And the truth is, I'm not even at 10K yet. My visa is about to expire. So in reality, I only have one shot to make this work. This new series is for my younger self, and the goal is to inspire him to take some fucking risks. You only have one line. That life shouldn't be determined by someone else's plan for you. So if you want to be part of this journey, follow me right now, because in the next episode, I may or may not be trying what you call the street meet.
That video was roughly around 45 seconds. And in that, we had about 7 or 8 different fucking ups and downs, whatever. It felt like a mini movie. Even if you don't think, oh, it was a movie, the whole emotional part of that journey, if you watch that whole video through, you're being taken in different directions without realizing where you're going, to the point where you see his rock bottom, you see his goal, you want to help him get there, 40,000 followers overnight. That video, like I say, pioneered a lot of what people did for a good amount of time. And I'll be honest, it kind of gave me inspiration to do a lot of the series content I did, which ended up growing me 10, 12,000 followers in 90 days as well, which is pretty much the backbone of my personal brand now, which I've now transitioned into business owners instead of my younger self. But again, similar to Reed, very good here. You see how all these videos here, there's 500K on a story video, which is very good. All these story videos that are getting 50K, like a storytelling reel that gets 50K is better than a CapCut template that gets 1 million or 2 million. I promise you that right now. 50,000 people that have seen your story or journey, or 50,000 people invested into you, not just seeing, oh yeah, that's cool. Like, I want to be in my 20s and, you know, die old and live a good life and travel too. You feel me? Like, there's much more power and emotion in seeing someone's journey than it is by just regurgitating a CapCut template. Not to say that you shouldn't post CapCut templates time to time, cool, but it shouldn't be the majority of the content you post, which again, what I think Jake has got lazy with, and again, no disrespect to him, he's incredible at what he does. Lately, they have been hammering the business. I know he works a lot of hours, so a lot of the content he posts now is somewhat like, oh, that's a story one, to be fair. But oh, look on, boys, there we go. We got a lead come through. Get up. But a lot of the songs, the posts he has now,
It's 4:30.
shit, I'm just not showing this really well. Anyway, not to go into the videos, I think just both of them have very busy businesses right now, and they've kind of got a bit lazy with their content in the CapCut templates being the majority of what they post. And even Reed said it before, one of his is like, you've not done a storytelling reel in a while. I think it's about time, because they are the best. Similar to myself. Now, I'll go over my account and why I think I myself have got lazy. So, oh, 1 second. Get off, mush. Where are we? I'm getting taken on a goose chase. Give me a second, boys. All right. So one of the things I'm going to give you an idea is I'll show you a video from back in the time when we somewhat the evolution. Now, I want to preface this by saying you want to make sure the content you make meticulously speaks to the person you're trying to attract. Bear that in mind, right? I'll say it a bit more simple, actually. Every single video you do has to have intent behind it to speak to the exact person, but also to have at least one of three intentions. It's either to connect with your audience, which will grow it, build an emotion, whatever else, to nurture it, to show you're an authority, speak on what you can do, how you can help them, or to convert them, which is to make sure that they realize that you are a person who can help them solve said problem, said situation, help them with whatever else service product. All three of these together is considered top, middle, and bottom funnel. If you're aware of a marketing funnel, same thing applies to content. You make sure you follow this and you'll build trust over time by either connecting, nurturing, or converting. You do all these things at scale over a period of time. People will inevitably buy into you because they realize all the things you say you are, they are being proven on at scale. So, also as well, I spoke to you a little bit then. Do anyone have any questions whatsoever? Because otherwise I will just speak for like 90 minutes straight. If anyone has any questions, be sure to raise their hand. Anything, questions? If not, I'll go ahead. I'll give it maybe 15 seconds. I also want to make sure this is beneficial for you. If you have any questions, if you've written it down, I see some guys are writing things down. If anything comes to mind, more than happy to speak with it. Because as you can see there, I've got 97% talk time. So good? Okay. I'm going to go off here now. If a question comes in, I'll answer it when I come back on. So some of the videos that did well for me, you will see the way I made videos was specifically to attract a certain person. And then I'll show you the evolution of the videos I now make to purely attract a different type of person. So this is when I started doing quite well. Actually, the video's up here, the first one. But this is the exact same copy of Jake, essentially. My own twist on it. And this is the one that got 5,000. But I'll go down to a little bit more of an iteration of my one to show you, for example. So I'll just show the whole video through, following the same framework as Jake's, and it's the one that was doing very well for a while. What I want you to realize throughout is how I edit it, how I speak, the amount of emotion changes and direction changes I have. And I'm going to ask you why you think I do certain things in the video afterwards to see if you realize why I'm trying to target either 18 to 24-year-olds in this video. If anything stands out to you as to what would target an 18 to 24-year-old. So you get a grasp of it, and then I'll show you a future video I've done now about who I'm targeting at 25 to 32, and then see anything that might stand out to you of what would target them specifically now. So that you get an idea of what type of content to make for what audience you want to appeal to, because that's just as important. If you start doing slow talking reels, you ain't going to get a 16-year-old to watch the video. TikTok brain, swallow, okay? So I'll just play this video through.
I have a 70 grand a year job to chase my dreams in Asia. But now I'm wondering if I fucked everything up. My name's Alex, and 335 days ago, took my car finance job, left my friends, family, partner, flew to Mexico to become a content creator and hit 50,000 followers with no proof it would work. Just an unrealistic dream. And it was fucking hard. Because I had a little devil on my shoulder telling me I was one big failure. And it all started to get on top of me. And I had no idea when, or even if this would work. But then I remembered, I could not end up back scrubbing walls in Frankie's and Benny's. So I started playing the fucking game. But I make no physical progress for 5 months. So you may think I belong to a mental asylum to keep going. But I see you as insane for not trying. As now I have my first brand deal, 2,000 followers in 12 days. And finally, we are starting to grow. And I'm nowhere near finished yet. As I still haven't skied down the Japanese mountains, see my mum tear up as I fly her out business class. And I'm not yet a route partner, but I've achieved all these things already. Time is just catching up. So whatever it is you've been avoiding, delaying, overthinking, just fucking start. Start playing the game of life. Because if you're ready to start leveling up your character, follow me right now. Because if a DJ bum like me could do this, then imagine what the fuck you could do.
So, just a brief thing then. Did anything stand out about what I spoke about, the things I anchored, and how I edited it, for example, as to what would appeal to an 18 to 24-year-old, or, for example, essentially me 3-4 years ago? Just wanted to see if any of you picked anything up, because when you make content yourself, it'd be good to notice these things. So when you make content for your own audience, you will see. Yes. I'll just give the pace, authenticity, and a bit of personality in it. Yep. Younger generation.
Guys, don't be afraid. Raise your hand and I'll take you off mute and you can actually have a conversation with Alex so that you can learn in real time.
Absolutely. I think the best way for this, which is interactive for both of us and anyone who's in it who wants to get more value from it, is ask a question, free ball off it, and we can go over things about even yourself, what you might do, or why certain things happened. The more discourse we have, the more it'll sink in for you, I promise you. So please, by all means, fire anything away. There's got to be someone who has a little inkling, even if it's not about the video we just watched. More than happy to help anyone. Okay. So, Reese, my man, I don't think I can take you off mute.
Yeah, there, bro.
Yeah, perfect, bro. Hit me. What have you got?
Voiceovers and talking, like, so they can hear your voice, they're gonna do so much better than just like B-rolls or like just captioned videos.
Yes, and I'll answer, but I want you to take a guess at why that is and why you think that. Like it's correct, but like why would you think that would perform better than just a video with B-roll and captions?
I don't know. The audience sort of feels like they're being spoken to directly, like as if they're actually listening to that person, like as if they were actually in front of them, or they don't have to sit there and read anything.
The first part, absolutely. It's because it feels a person-to-person like interaction. Whereas anyone right now can type on a screen and for example, if I was to all this I'm saying to you right now, if I was to text it to you into the chat, none of it would hit anywhere near as much. You don't know my tonality, my delivery, my mood, anything. If you see it on a screen and I just put like a caption and B-roll, I could be sad, I could be happy, I could be ecstatic, I could be depressed. You don't know. There's a fly in my face. You don't know the emotions I'm trying to get across because all you're doing is reading. The same way in today's generation, why everyone watches movies instead of reading books majority of the time, is because it tells a much clearer story because they can see it, hear it, and understand it than having to make their own assumption about what they mean from just the words on the screen. So that's why it works so much better. And again, the human aspect, it's actually a person on the other side of the screen. Because ChatGPT, like for example, the videos that Jake and Reed are posting now, I really don't want to sound like I'm shitting on them because I'm not, because it's not Jake and Reed in general. There's a lot of people that do these types of videos, but ChatGPT could probably do that if you asked it. VAs are probably making that content because they're busy with their business. A VA can take their B-roll, add a caption, upload it, and it be their personal brand because of the B-roll they're using. But they're not doing anything themselves to connect with the audience. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm glad I hope I answered your question.
No,
Aaron,
yeah.
I believe Aaron as well. DC. That was a great question, by the way, Reese.
Hey brother, hope you're well. Out of your experience with content and stuff like that, would you say the way content's going right now, would you say storytelling is still the way to go with content and building that personal brand with trying to be personal and tell your story of where you've come from?
Yeah, great question again. And it's something I've probably not touched on as much as I'd like to. And what I'll try and do now more with these storytelling reels is you look, for example, I say right now, personal branding is evolving out of the value, the tips, the tricks, whatever else, because it's all been heard before. Okay. People are getting bored of it. They're getting tired of it. They don't know who's who. Okay. That was after maybe 5 years of social media. Why do we all believe in Christianity? Why do we all believe in Jesus? Why do we all believe in quote unquote stories, books? We've not seen Jesus. We've not known anything of it. But the story itself has lasted thousands of years. Before, as soon as people started speaking, as soon as people could open their mouths, storytelling has been one of the most best ways to connect with humans for millennia. So, with the concept that personal branding is just human connection on a digital scale, I can guarantee you right now for the next 10, 15, 20, it will always be around, but especially right now when there's a lack of trust, storytelling will be the main vehicle for building trust, building a personal brand, and gaining a following of people who actually fuck with you, want to work with you, and like you. It's purely storytelling. Because the same way right now that me and you would connect is purely from shared experiences, lessons, struggles, same upbringing. No way. That's my favorite food too. Like I like playing football as well. Let's go play paddle. Like these things you connect with people on. Again, that's activities. If it's moments, experience, loaded emotions, you start to see yourself in them, which is what creates genuine friendships, relationships with these people through a screen. So storytelling unequivocally will be the most pivotal thing for building your brand for the next 5 to 10 years. And I can put my absolute heart on it. It's something I will use as a majority of my content. I will always amend my approach on what works at the time, but storytelling will always be the vehicle. So as you'll see later on, one of the creators I'm going to go over who's fucking crushing it, his name is SamXSocials. We'll go over in a second. He does a lot of value-based storytelling. So everything he does is very much value-based. But instead of it being the same old generic value of regurgitated shit you hear, he tells it through shared experiences, showing, not telling. Not you need to do this, but I did this, so you might too. If they relate to Sam from other experiences, they will appreciate his advice and listen to his story, because the more of your story you tell, the more of your life you get out, it gives every person a different inkling or a nugget to connect onto you and latch onto you. So for example, then in this video, I mentioned my goals, taking my mum skiing when I went to the Japanese mountains, becoming a Whoop partner. I told them my bottom moments when I worked at Frankie's and Benny's for years. I didn't make progress for 5 months. These are all inklings of story. If any of you had any moments similar to when you was working a dead-end waiter job and you wanted to leave, if one of you want to become a Whoop partner, if one of you want to go skiing in the mountains of Japanese, they're all nuggets of information that are unique to me and my goals and my dreams that will buy someone into you so much because they share the same things. And I'm telling it in a story, which then shows to people and how we perceive that it's trustworthy. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it does, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Perfect. I'll go over if anyone else has any question at all. So how can the creators in here put this into action? Remembering majority are affiliates. What examples can you give, bro? Affiliates, as in like you are an affiliate for a high ticket sales agency. You bring someone on and you get a cut, or for what? Sorry. Affiliates for Ascend. Okay. So in the sense of how do you get someone on to Ascend for your story? Well, bro, not necessarily. So it's the exact same thing. Everything I just said, exact same concept. But instead of it being, again, ascend, 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 you don't sell ascend. You sell the dream, the vision, the lifestyle, the goals, the life they want to live, the journey you came on, where you were, and where high ticket sales as a skill saved you. But I relate to, sorry, I don't know your name, but DC. I relate to DC so much. We share so much. Like, he was working this job. Now he's working sales and he's traveling the world. Like, I want to live that. Like, how's he done it? High ticket sales. I message you. How do you do that? Whether it's your own offer, whether it's an affiliate offer. Bro, James is the fucking guy. Help me do this, this, and this. I make this money. This is how I live my lifestyle. You'll fucking crush it with him. Send it to James, so on and so forth. You can build a personal brand all around yourself, the niche, the strategy. You are the brand. Everything you tell is you. All the things that happen in your life is your content strategy, is what you speak about. Whether you're selling a personal brand offer, fitness, sales, an affiliate, you still have the same strategy of getting people to connect with you. But whatever those people want, that you share together, and you've achieved it, the people who haven't achieved it will want to achieve it with you if they've connected. What is the vehicle? How did they get there? High ticket sales. How do I do that? Ascend. I hope that answers your questions, because no matter what you do with what you sell, it doesn't matter. Everything matters on the connection you can garner with your audience. And then whatever you funnel them towards, you just make sure you creep in little nuggets of what you do within the story. So you won't be like, I'm a high ticket sales guy, like I make 50 grand a month, blah, 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 because that's, you're going to go into the noise. But you're going to tell your story and be like, and I never did this if I was in this job, but like once I started learning sales, and now I go to Bali, Thailand, Vietnam, I can pay for my parents' holiday, and like I live a life I've never even thought was possible. So you tell your story the same way. You attach the same bottom, you attach the same top, but you just anchor it together with whatever vehicle or whatever you're trying to sell or promote in a non-salesy fashion. Because you're not saying buy my course, join Ascend. You're telling your story of how you got to where you are, and it positions Ascend or high ticket sales as the vehicle that did so. So if you do a good job at connecting with people and the personal branding, they'll unequivocally buy into you to then want to do the same thing as you. Okay. I'll go through a little bit more on one more of my videos of what I do now. And then I'll go through the guys who I genuinely think are killing it. Some of the guys here are doing 600K a year, no ads, one person teams, because their personal brand is just fucking dynamite. Every single thing about it. So I'll just go on to now, as someone mentioned before, actually, this was very much towards the pace and it was related to the generation. Again, what I spoke about, the moments I had, and the pacing was to someone who is a little bit younger. Whereas now, this is my new style I'm doing as I enter a bit more of a philosophical era, but more so, the reason why I post content like this is because the guys I want to speak to, the guys I want to work with, I'm trying to attract the exact person I want to work with. I don't want to work with someone who's all over the place like I was when I was 18, 24, which was what built my brand. What I want to work with now is calculated business owners who are reflective. They think, they're analytical, they're efficient. So I slow my shit down. I speak at a pace they want to listen to, and I completely switch the flow up. Now, I want you to see the contrast between the video back then when I was targeting someone to the video I do now. It's still me inherently. It's still a different part of me, but it's a massive, massive change. So this one got 65K and I think it got me like 600, 700 followers. So like 1%, it's still pretty good. But the key thing from this is this video alone, I think might have got me not just 70 or 80 leads, but actual 70 to 80 people who are perfect to work with me in my business. Which, again, if you do a CapCut template that gets 1 million people and 1,000 followers, none of them will be within what you want to work with. So this is the video I did now, and you can see the change in tonality, the pacing, what I speak about will attract a different audience.
217,000 short. The fuck up. Why has social media turned us all into performers, flaunting earnings, flexing status, as if that's what success looks like? And I fell into that trap, posting my earnings like anyone gave a fuck, seeking validation without even realizing. Because here's what nobody tells you. The ones flaunting are the ones who are desperate, yet the ones making it don't need to prove it. Because money is just a tool, not a trophy, not validation, but simply access. So our Instagram feed sells a lie that more money equals more happiness, that the goals and numbers we hit, so we chase endlessly, wondering why we never feel whole. But fulfillment has no price. The morning coffee with the people you love, the time playing paddle with your friends, and the moments you didn't document or monetize, that's the stuff that fills you. Because the little piece of metal on your wrist won't give you purpose. So you're not behind in life because you don't have what they're flaunting. You're ahead if you realize it doesn't fucking matter. Because real wealth isn't what you own, but knowing what's actually worth having.
So again, just quickly, what in that video do you think would appeal to the audience I'm trying to get to now, in contrast to what we've seen before? Just so you can understand again what the approach is for certain videos to get a certain audience. It could be the things I spoke about, anything. Like what stood out to you as someone who would be a business owner, 24 to 30, etc. Yeah. Slower, more serious tone. Anything about the topics that came to mind? Yeah. Perfect. Calming, type of font, music to map out the tone. All correct. Anything about the topics more so, just so you can see what they would connect with over me talking about working in Frankie's and Benny's. Because Frankie's and Benny's would anchor to someone who's 18, 19, who's getting their first job. But the topics I'm speaking about in this video, what they would relate to a business owner on. Bingo. So a key concept that business owners struggle with is they chase money, because all they're told the business does well, 20, 50K, 100K months, but they feel empty inside because they're following a lie that they've been told all their lives, but they're not being fulfilled from it. So when you speak that into words and give someone a voice or an unspoken truth in their minds, it's something that hits hard within them at their core that they never realized, that then shifts their belief. They then see you as a visionary. They then want to work with you. Or if not, you've started the seed of how you then start to begin to work with people, let alone the fact all these people are going to follow you. But over time, like, that guy spoke so much fucking sense. I'm going to follow and watch the next video and the next video, the next video, next video, next video. And over time, as much as I connect these people over, it becomes the only option in their mind to work with me and do the same thing that I'm doing, whatever it is for. But okay, glad we went over that. But the main thing is the guys have gone over so far. I'll probably go on for like another 15 minutes just because I know we've been 15 minutes here. But is the people doing well. Now, these guys, the guys I'm going to show you, one of them has 11,000 followers. One of them has 21,000. And then this one is a pure business Instagram. Now, I'll tell you why each person does well before going on to it. So this is completely story-based value lessons. It's always outperforming his followers, and he has a certain aesthetic that appeals to business owners. But it's because everything he does is with storytelling hooks, and he's applying show, don't tell in every video. So his content does the heavy lifting. He doesn't do sales calls. But again, 11,000 followers. So you think, well, how's it? This guy's not even got that big a personal brand. Like, why is he doing well? The key sign of a personal brand that does fucking well isn't how many followers they've got, but look at his engagement compared to, so 44,000, 13,000, 15, 10, 12, 27, 42, 41, 10, 17, 21, 14, 17, 22. Every video he posts is an outlier. Every single one. More than double his following. He's on the route to go to 100K at the rate he's going, which is a sign of a creator you want to copy, iterate from, and analyze. Not the guys like the Shelby Saps who have got 1 million followers, who have done it before in the past and built their following. They might get millions of followers, but they might get millions of views, but it's because they've got a huge audience and they've already built a perception. But guys like this, who are trying to build their brand out, these are the accounts you want to look out for as to someone who's actually doing well and applying shit that works. These are the outlier accounts, and I'll show you another one in a second. So look as well, one key thing. See how in every video he's wearing the same grey hoodie. So every time you see a video come on your page that is from this guy, and you're like, oh, it's the guy in the grey hoodie that speaks about personal branding. He has a digital footprint, right? And all these videos as well, since we're on the subject of digital, is they're all speaking on storytelling and personal branding. Every single video he posts is a piece of digital real estate. I fucking love that term because you have to think of it in a sense of compounding. Every video he posts is a different shot on goal. It's a different lottery ticket to keep going and building a perception of what he can do and how he can help until he's the only option in sight of someone who can help with the personal brand, not only because of the value he's giving, but as we'll see now, he embeds his story within the value. Let me try and show an example. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but bearing in mind as well, this is like premium fucking visuals and lighting.
Offline and not
Okay, here we go. The best content.
The best content comes from living a life offline and not scrolling on social media. Hi, my name is Sam, and
now you see right there, amazing because people don't realize he's clearly stating what he does. What makes good content is a life offline, not a life online. But instead of just speaking about personal brand strategy, all the best tips, tricks, trending audios, he's clearly stated who he's speaking to, and then he goes straight into a story. Hi, my name is Sam. And for the last 3 months, I've been posting content and I've built a thing. Going through. He's still delivering value, but he's adapted it to a storytelling fashion so he can get the connection, the human side, the personable, the relatable, but he's speaking in value. So it's taking two concepts that work and applying it together, which is what making this content blow the fuck up. Because not only is he giving people value, they're also connecting to him, which is why every video he does is an outlier. Because he's providing every single thing and every single touch point to build a reputable business and become a trustworthy person in the space. I wish I could go through a lot more of his videos. What I will say is I will drop this in afterwards so you guys can all go through and look through these amazing accounts because I don't have enough time to go through all the videos and all the things about how good these people are because they've got video after video after video. I'll just recap certain things of what they do well, how you can apply it, show an example, and go through to the next. Because these guys, every video is a banger. It has intent. They're all building a certain part of their audience to either connect, nurture, or convert. It's very good. So His one, very much go and follow. Every video is an outlier. You copy this sort of structure, you iterate from it. Never copy word for word. Let me slow down so I can get this in. You want to take his framework, the flow of his video, how he's speaking, what he speaks about, not copy the script and change it to your words, but copy the framework. Okay, value-based storytelling hook, payoff at end, introduction, setup scene, value, his experience. You take that and writing scripts becomes so easy because you're not just trying to copy the next creator's gone viral, but you're being completely unique and writing it in your own words, following a proven framework that works. So instead of seeing people who post viral content and just copying their videos and, changing to your words, despite me doing that with Jake's video, I'm aware, some of them, it doesn't harm me every time now and again. But if you rely on that for every single piece of content, it will kind of show the cracks when you can't create your own shit, which is what he's such a pioneer at and someone I'm taking a lot of inspiration from in my transition into business content without being salesy. Now, another person I wanted to show is, where are we? Is it here? So Frederick is good, Jack is good, Rollboys. Now, does anyone know who Rollboys are? I just want you to put like a one. Team, put one in chat if you find this valuable. Oh, this is such a stream. I love it. Okay, so a lot of people. Oh wait, hold on. Shit. Put a 2 in the chat if you know Rollboys. Thank you for finding this valuable. I hope this will help you all.
Bad timing, bro.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh, you're on the Rollboys, mad. Oh shit. Yeah, 2 in the chat if you know Rollboys, because they are a fascinating account, and I'll show you the psychology behind why their business is fucking booming. Okay, no one's put a 2. I'm going to assume no one knows them. I wouldn't expect you to. Basically, a little bit of context. It's a London bakery, right? And I think they might have posted max 60 reels. We don't need to go through all the reels, but I'll show you why they're different to most business accounts and why they're doing well and what you can take elements from this to do with your own business, essentially. So the notes I made on this, let me just pull this up. So Rollboys are essentially the epitome of a founder-led business, which is what you would be if you started your own business, your own personal brand, whatever it is. It's a founder-led business. Now, the reason Rollboys did so well is even though it's an in-person business, a fucking cinnamon roll business, right? He documented a 2-month journey of opening his shop up, the struggles behind doing it, might be missing his open date, the worries he had, his own self-realizations, his struggles, his story, why he started what he's doing, his values, his beliefs, pretty much everything we spoke about, what makes a good personal brand before, the fundamentals, but he's now applied it. Again, let's compare this to the affiliate thing you mentioned before. He's applied his entire story, but applied it to a fucking cinnamon roll bakery in London. On their open day, they had 5-hour queue for fucking cinnamon rolls purely for the attention, the connection, and the trust he had built for his content of building this business of a bakery. Within 5 months or 6 months, he's opened up 2 more locations, one in Dubai and somewhere else. I don't know about you guys, but that is 1,000 times quicker than any business scales purely because the power of a fucking magnetic personal brand, which is, again, any business you have, any connection you try and build, is amplified by approaching personal branding in this fashion that I'm telling you of building trust, genuine connection, telling your story, values, beliefs, insights, whatever, becoming the niche within your content in a way that is undeniable to build connection at a mass. Personal branding for human connection on a digital scale, key line of the day. But I'll show you here, right? This is Rollboy's business. So why do we see the owner's story?
Here, let's rewind. I'm George. I make cinnamon rolls and bring people along this crazy journey with me. No one.
Instantly relatable. I'm George and I make cinnamon rolls. That's pretty fucking interesting. This video alone, I don't know if it's got the views on there. Again, you can go through and watch all these videos, but I'm also trying to show you what worked for them, and you can analyze all the videos after. But in this video, he essentially goes over a story of where he went to South America. He broke up with his girlfriend. He had all these problems. He wanted a simpler life. He was told to chase these things that everyone told him to do, and none of it made it happy. So he went to South America to fuck it all off, had a revelation, doing all these things, had the crazy experience, and then thought, you know what? I want a simple life. I want to go back and open a cinnamon roll shop in London, right? Mad story, mad connection, mad relatability, ups and downs, a rock bottom of breaking up with his girlfriend and going solo traveling, and then a high of having this dream of building a cinnamon roll shop to the point where so many people bought into his mission and his journey that they queued up for 5 hours just to get one cinnamon fucking roll. That is the power of a personal brand. Because I don't know about you guys, but I don't give a fuck that much about cinnamon rolls. But they cared about the person. I'd line up. Exactly. Those rolls look fire, not gonna lie. They probably fucking are. But 5 hours for a roll is pretty crazy. But one other person, quickly, I will just touch over because I want to give you all a bit of a brief on these people before you go away and have a look at themselves. I'll give you the briefs on them, what they do well, and why I think they're working so well in this day and age. Now, this guy, again, 22,000 followers, but last year he made $512,000 with $513,000 with one team member and no ads. 500 grand of profit from one team member and no ads, purely because his content is on the fucking money. Now, he doesn't even have anything in his bio about what he does. Every video gets maybe 4,000, 5,000, 7,000, 7,000, some outliers, 67, but it's 4,000, 8,000, 7,000, 5,000. But the reason why this works so well is in his content, he isn't just trying to be, I'm a coach, you can scale it to 10K a month, buy my thing, and we'll do this, guarantee 2 spots left, blah, 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 blah. All the things you see other coaches and other personal brand businesses try and do from a sense of scarcity. Instead, he comes on and says, I'm running my own business, but I hate sales calls and I hate ads. I don't like these things. However, it's very unusual for a business owner to think these as its two main components of online business. But what that then does psychologically is attracts every single business owner that hates running ads and that hates sales calls. So he's now attracting his dream clients because he's opposing everything he doesn't want and attracting everything he does want. So then everyone he works with is a seamless sale over the phone because he doesn't take a sales call. He tells people, I only close in DMs. My content does the heavy lifting. So they know that once they watch enough of him, they know he knows they're going to come to him because he's attracting the people that do that. If you just keep doing this at scale, his YouTube strategy is amazing as well. Again, he's big on show, don't tell. He doesn't tell you how to scale to $1 million a month. He just shows you simply how he does it. If you want to show people how to get into high ticket sales, don't tell them high ticket sales is the best thing you could do and you will make X amount of month for money and you'll live a life of freedom. Don't tell anyone. Show them. Let them come to the realization and the revelation themselves that sale is the vehicle for you, then it could be the vehicle for them because they're connecting you, which is what this guy does incredibly. And then one last final guy who hasn't got a business, but I just think his content is probably the best in the game right now. I don't see anyone doing it better than him. So simple. This guy has grown maybe 50,000 followers in the last 6 weeks since I've been watching him. And his is somewhat of the inspiration for that slower business owner content that I've been making. And the final thing I'll give you on this is when you find someone that's doing very, 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 very well and having a good content strategy or a format that works, analyze why it does well, why it's working for them, the pacing, the tonality, the delivery, which, for example, on this video I'll show you now is what I did for what works with him. But he's building a personal brand purely just from like the sake of wanting to build a brand. But I then took what he did, which works so well with people, and applied it to how I can attract business owners, which is why I speak on certain topics. But with him, this guy's a fucking poet, bro. Look, 50,000 followers, 3.8 mil, 1.3, 1.8, 1.3, 700K, 2.3 mil, 5.3 mil, 480K. This guy is one of the biggest outlier accounts on Instagram right now. So you know that whatever you take from him, switch it and iterate it, it will work again. What works in fitness will work in sales. What works in sewing will work in bowling. If you're a bowling coach, who fucking knows? But you take what works for other people in outlier accounts, analyze what they do well with their frameworks, iterate it to apply it to yourself so it doesn't look like you've copied it, and then you can create incredible content every time that's much more predictable to hit the right people and also do well, more so than just hoping it fucking works and seeing what happens. But I'll show you a quick video from his because he's incredible. It's only 40 seconds.
Fall in love with the flower, but not the root. You'll be disappointed in autumn. A lot of people love what shines on the outside, the beauty, the benefits, the way it makes them feel in the moment. But seasons change, and if you never cared about the roots, the values, the soul, the substance, then you won't stick around for when the leaves fall. This applies to relationships, passions, and even your own goals. If you're only in it for how it looks, not what it is, you'll walk away the second it stops blooming. But when you love the roots, you understand the purpose, the struggle, the growth. You'll stick around for the whole cycle. Because the magic isn't just in the flower, it's in everything that made it bloom in the first place.
If any of you have time, go through and watch this guy's account. Kiva, you're absolutely right. He is a poet in motion. He's absolutely delicately spoken. The way he speaks, delivery, tonality, it appeals to all audiences. So, for example, if you can see any resemblance, I don't do it anywhere near as good as him. But the way he speaks, what he hits, the emotions he makes you feel, the same way you just said then, those are beautiful words. Holy shit. It made you feel something. So you know that content works. Cool, we can analyze, we can see he does well, but then how you do that for yourself to make people feel the same way is by taking the framework, what he speaks on, the goals, the spirits, the values, using an analogy that's similar, putting your own twist on things, and you're guaranteed to have a better shot on goal than just randomly making a video, if that makes sense. But yeah, they were those 4 creators. I'll give over to all of you. Go have a look through them. They're all different in their own right. Frederick is for business. Sam is for value-based storytelling. Jack is for pure connection. All of it is top of funnel, all to connect with audience, but he does it incredibly. And then Rollboys is founder-led businesses, which is an element you should take from if you are an affiliate, if you're trying to get people someone in, if you've got your own business, to focus on the founder story that then promotes your business as a byproduct, more so than trying to tell people, buy my course, buy my cinnamon rolls, buy my high-ticket sales program, so on and so forth. Now, I could talk for about another fucking 3 hours on this shit, but I think we have a call next week. I'm more happy to go over anything else. I'm going to come back next week with a little bit more of a roadmap to go from beginning or someone who's starting off unaware to what you should focus on at each point, when to switch things up, what works, some frameworks I use, some ways to dissect what would make a good story that's unique to you, how to mine the best moments, all these things. I'll devise a thing up. I'll watch back this call, see what we've gone over, some of the questions we've had, what people actually want to know, what the questions were asked before, devise something that's going to be very much beneficial for you to go away, start implementing actionable steps to start seeing the same level of growth from either these creators, myself, to build X business in the future, whatever it may be. But I hope all of that was valuable to you all. I know I've spoken for a lot. Does anyone have any questions whatsoever, anything? Please fire away. I'd love to help over anything. Dubs in the chat as well. I think that was all right. If you want to put your hand up or anything, and James can unmute you. If any notes anyone made, I've seen a lot of people make some notes.
Yeah, literally anyone that has any questions whatsoever, please put your hand up as well. But yeah, guys, put a W, put a 1 in the chat if you did find value in that call. That was absolutely incredible, man. And really appreciate you coming on here, bro. I took pages and pages of notes, bro, and I'm definitely going to watch this call back, if not a few times, and really pick your brain again, bro. But I'm really looking forward to what you come up with next Wednesday for us, brother. Super excited. And yeah, man, that was probably one of the best calls I've ever been on, if I'm being honest. So, if you want a full-time role in Ascend, bro, we're gonna have a little chat about that. But no, we really appreciate you, bro. And also we're gonna ask each and every one of you guys who was on the call, we're gonna ask you for feedback as well. So we can relay that information over to Alex, and we can make next Wednesday's call even better, if that's even possible. So we really appreciate all of you jumping on. Much love, guys, and we will see you guys in the next one. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, guys. Peace and love.